Dots in Boxes is primarily a two-player game played with a pen and paper. But it can also be played with more people. In other words, as a family. The aim of the game is to capture the most amount of boxes by drawing lines on a grid. So, each player takes turns drawing a single line between two dots on the grid, either horizontally or vertically. Whenever a player completes the last side of a square and encloses it, that player scores a point and colors in the box or marks it in some way as their box. If more than one box is created by a single line, that player scores 1 point for each box that they created. And after a point has been scored, the scoring player may draw another line, and their turn only ends when they can't finish off a box. And then the winning player, you guessed it, is the one with the most amount of boxes. In order to keep the game entertaining and fresh, we need to create some variation. So, when you choose to play this game with your family, it's never really the same. Change colors with each other, or pick a new one when starting a new game. Or maybe draw or write something new when you get a point. And by doing this, your kids can also challenge their imagination a bit and maybe have a laugh at something silly. Change the amount of dots on the paper, or completely change the order or shape of the dots. Or maybe let your kids make the dots and decide how the grid should be. Depending on your preferences, you can basically decide how long the game should be. In order for someone to not dominate the games, you can decide to not get an extra turn after scoring a point. That way your youngest kids can actually have a chance on getting some points. Or maybe set a timer for X amount of minutes and see who can win the most amount of matches in that time frame. I've created a paper with different grids on each side of the paper and laminated it. That way we don't have to use a new piece of paper and make a new grid each and every time. The purpose of this video is just to give you an extra activity in your toolbox, so you can spend some quality time with your family and have fun. And if the games drag out or takes a lot more time because your kids want to be more creative or spend a lot more time on coloring in the boxes, who cares? The most important thing is that you are doing something with your family or your kids instead of them looking at a screen.